Hi, I'm Pete McCall with a great progression for a dynamic warm-up for running or any other type of activity. You want to start with two or three exercises in a static position. This is a hinge to a squat, pushing back through the hips and powering up by pressing into the ground. From here, it's a progression to a ground-based exercise. A ground-based exercise uses both your hands and feet in contact with the ground. Your hands and feet have a lot of nerve endings, so pressing them into the ground is a great way to activate the nervous system. As I rotate my right arm up, I'm pressing my left hand down and extending through that left heel. Different camera angle. Again, as I rotate up, I'm pushing that hand into the ground, and as I rotate up, I'm pushing out through that back heel for a great stretch in the hip. This is great for the hip flexors. Two exercises, relatively static, and then it can progress to a walking exercise. This is now a walking hurdle walk. Very similar to that previous exercise, just moving. The trick to the hurdle walk is pushing the foot into the ground. So as one hip is rotating through the air, the other foot is pressing into the ground. There's a forward lunge walk with a straight back leg. The hamstring and calf muscles have a lot of fascia and connective tissue. By pushing the heel into the ground and keeping that leg straight, you're getting a great stretch into the fascia. The fascia becomes stronger by lengthening against resistance, and this is the perfect stretch to really warm those hamstrings up. And that progresses right into the reverse walk. This is a reverse single leg deadlift or single leg RDL. As you hinge forward, push that foot into the ground. So your stance leg is pushing into the ground while the opposite leg is hinging up. That counteraction as you move one leg while pushing the other leg into the ground is a great way to warm up those muscles. You can see the progression in dynamic movement. Now it's a step with a kick. A couple steps in between just gets that rhythm down. Step, 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 kick. Great for the hamstrings. This is the second to last of the walking motions. This is a lateral hip shift. This is moving the hips in the frontal plane, shifting from one side to the other, really warms up the pelvis over the femurs. You want to do about 2 sets of each of these exercises. This is a crossover walk, staying low, kicking that foot over the knee, going in both directions. 2 sets in each direction, and then we'll progress up to a little bouncing. This is about 10 or 15 bounces in each plane of motion. This little bouncing motion is perfect for the calf muscles to prepare for dynamic motion. That gets us to the skips. This is basic little A skip or forward skip. Drive the knee up, pick the toes up. Pick the toes up, pick the knee up. Lateral skips, moving the frontal plane. It's pull with the one leg and push with the other. It's a combination of pulling and pushing to move laterally. As you can see, I'm getting a little sweater in each of these movements. That's a perfect way to know you're done with the warm-up. When you're sweating, that's when you're ready to start moving. This is the final one, crossover skips. Crossover skips, great for the hips. And there is a perfect dynamic warm-up progression.